Good evening, racing fans, and welcome to another sim racing production. Tonight is a Sim500 Kickass Beef Jerky Xfinity Series here at Talladega Super Speedway. At my right tonight is Gael Brooks. Gael, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing very well. How are you, sir?
Doing awesome. Thank you for asking. Down in my van tonight, our van, excuse me, giving you guys these great pictures that you see is Aaron Groskopf. Aaron's waving at everybody, but he don't like to talk on the mic, so we'll just, hi, Aaron. So, folks, here we go. 2.66 miles of adventure and excitement coming at you. Maybe a couple wrinkled fingers. Well, yeah, wrinkled fingers too, but wrinkled fenders is what I was trying to say. Gael, this is one of my favorite tracks of all time, man. How do you feel about Talladega?
A bit of a love-hate relationship, but actually, I must say, I prefer racing here than at Daytona for the plate races, just because of the extra width in the track. It feels much more comfortable to run those three wide situations when it comes down to the wire.
Absolutely could not agree with you anymore on that. Uh, it's a huge track, man. I mean, it's a little bit longer than Daytona, but it's also, like you mentioned, wider, it feels like, than Daytona. It's got the same 33-degree banking, but, man, it's just, to me, it's so much bigger of a track, a lot more speed to it, it feels like. But here we go, man. The Kick-Ass Beef Jerky Series. Now, folks, we're coming off of this one last week. We had a barn burner at Richmond International. Well, I'm sorry, not last week. Last race, I should say. They were off last week for Easter holidays, which I hope everybody had a blessed holiday out there. But last week was a barn burner with Dave Comstock coming away with the win. Now, it was also a shake-up in the points, man. I mean, some people really, jumped up, and some people really fell back. The biggest notice I took here was Dwayne Vincent falling all the way back to 8th. But right now, your points are Daniel Falkingham with 2 wins so far this season, and points leader Justin Fuller right behind him, Chad Coleman, Steph Marinac in 4th, Byron Daly in 5th place. Dave Comstock jumped up 3 to 6th place, Jordan Hightower 7th, Dwayne Vincent 8th, Tommy Ryan in 9th, and Scott Simley. Well, Tommy Ryan and Scott Simley are both tied for 9th and 10th right there. And that's your points coming into this race tonight. This is race number 9 of the season of 2019. Man, it's a big one. Like I said, we've got 76 laps here at Talladega Super Speedway, and right now they're qualifying. And I'll tell you what, we were watching practice, Gael, and we saw some amazing speeds out there, almost, 4 seconds faster than what they're running right now.
Yeah, saying these cars are definitely drafting pretty hard, and like you said, this will be a big one, and there's a very good chance that there will be a big one. I'll say they were drafting real hard, being real aggressive, seeing what they could get away with during practice. So I think we're going to see some pretty bold moves by some of these drivers, especially coming to like the last 10 laps or so.
Absolutely. Right now, like I said, they're qualifying, so we should be wrapping up that here shortly. About a minute and a half or so left in qualifying, and then we'll get our pole winner in here. Right now, that looks like it's going to be Dwayne Vincent, my neighbor, fellow Cajun guy. Right now, he's holding a 307, a 53.307 at the pole. But look at that guy. Mike Kelly right behind him, 1/1000th of a second.
It's crazy. So you've got a 2.66 mile, I believe it is, track, and 1,000th of a second right now separating the top two. I say a few of them I think are holding out to make their laps, so I think we're going to see a few more fall in there too.
Absolutely. We got like a little over a minute left right now, and we're gonna run this thing up. But tonight's race is the Kick-Ass Beef Jerky Xfinity Series here at Sim500, excuse me. If you folks want to go check out the website at sim500.com, don't forget, we also broadcast on Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube. Triple threat is what we call that. So hop over there, give us a like, thumbs up, whatever. Get your notifications set up. You'll be notified when we go live. We do this one tomorrow night. We're the Cup Series, also at Talladega. Then we do the Wednesday Night Truck Series, which I don't exactly talk a whole lot in, but I do race in, and not well, I might add. But anyway, well, Gael, man, you got any final thoughts while we wait for qualifying here and before we get going on this?
I think you're just going to see two trains of thought with the drivers tonight. I say they're going to have the one of I want to be up front to stay ahead of any of the trouble that there's going to be, and then they're going to have those that say, you know what, I'm going to stay behind all the trouble, and hopefully I can get around it and then go after it when it matters. So it'll be interesting to see which train of thought pans out tonight.
I'll tell you what, I'm really looking forward to going green here. Speaking of going green, we are about 2 seconds away from qualifying being over, and there it is. And yes, Dwayne Vincent brings home the pole, 53.307. Unfortunately, Dwayne's not in TeamSpeak, so we can't do an interview with him. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull Joey Jatina up here, and we're going to have a word with Joey real quick. Joey Jatina, this is John up in the booth, buddy. You got me?
Hey, John, what's up, buddy?
Well, we were going to try and interview our poll winner, but as you and I both know, Dwayne doesn't like to do TeamSpeak very much. So I want to talk to you for a minute, man. We're at Talladega, Joey. What are your thoughts coming into this race? It's a big track, a lot of wide space out there, a lot of passing available to you. How do you feel about it?
Sweet home Alabama, home track. A lot of laps out here. Probably got more laps than Earnhardt in real life at this racetrack. So hopefully that'll roll over to sim racing here tonight. I don't know. I'm gonna ride and just see what happens. Qualified inside the top 10. That's kind of new for me, I guess, to be this close to the front early. But I don't know. It's gonna be a good race. If everybody just pays attention, lays off the back bumpers, we'll have a hell of a race.
You said it right there, laying off the back bumpers. We saw that in practice. It's very difficult for these guys to bump trap to this track without causing some issues. So hopefully they'll keep that in mind, my friend, and you can continue this streak of top tens you've got going. And I keep forgetting, folks, this guy right here, Joey Jatina, has actually had his hands on the wheel of one of these Thunder horses around Talladega Speedway in real life. So he knows exactly what it feels like to get around this track at high speeds. Well, Joey, good luck to you, buddy.
I would use Thunder Horse lightly, but yeah, I appreciate it, John. Good luck.
That's it. And that was Joey Jatina, kind of the head honcho over here at Sim500. One of the best guys you're going to meet. Real friendly, down to earth, but like I said, he's got a lot of experience with this track. Well, here we go, folks. They're stacked up on the track, getting lined up to go racing. So we are going to give you the top 10 lineup real quick. Dwayne Vincent takes that pole on the inside of row one there, 53.307, the 13 car. To his outside, the number 2 car of Mike Kelly.
So inside of row 2, you got the 30 of Brian Macklin, and right outside of him, you've got Daniel Falkingham in 39.
Inside row 3, Matthew Welzenbach in number 29. To his outside, Eric Arnold in the 31.
And then starting 7th, you have Mike Grandy in the 92, and EJ O'Rourke in the 41, starting 8th.
Inside row 5, Jimmy North in the 48, and Joey Jatina rounds out your top 10. Rest of the field will scroll by there on the ticker. And folks, we're about to go green here. We got one pace lap, and they're going to get these guys lined up. So while we've got just about a minute and a half to talk, we're going to pull our in-race reporter up and have a word with him. That's going to be Mike Grandy. Let me grab him real quick, and we'll have a word with him. And where'd he go? Up there he is. I found him. Mike Grandy, this is John up in the booth. How you doing, bud?
How you doing?
Well, man, we see you're starting in the top 10 there, coming home in 7th in qualifying, coming fresh off an NIS Open victory today. How you feeling about your race tonight, man?
Well, I can't hear you too good, but I think we'll just kind of hang around and see how things shake out. But we got a pretty good car, and I think we could run up front if we wanted to.
All right, Mike. Well, I'm not going to dally here too long, man. Good luck with your race tonight. Tighten them buckles up, and we'll see you at the end of it.
Thanks, man.
And that was Mike Grandy starting 7th right there. So we might have to pick ourselves a new in-race reporter there, Gael. He's got some loud speakers he's having a hard time hearing us with.
He's going for a full immersion here.
That's it, man. Probably got the VR going, too. I want VR so bad. I can't even tell you how bad.
I've tried it. I say it didn't work for me, but I say my dad actually runs it with been able to get him back into iRacing, which has been a lot of fun. And say he's running VR and he loves it. He said it's actually really helped him out.
Well, I'll tell you what, on this track, I bet it would be a huge help, especially since you have such a hard time seeing who's on the inside and outside at a very crucial moment when you're trying to make a move around another car in front of you or something like that. But, I'm looking at these cars, and, man, they got a lot of right front ride height, which tells me that the right front springs on the fixed setup must be kind of small.
Let me take a look here. I haven't seen that. Oh, yeah, you are right. So I'll say once they get up to speed, though, I'll say they'll drop down pretty nicely.
Yeah, probably. Well, here we go, coming off turn 4 through the trial. And don't forget, folks, the start-finish line at this track is way down past the trial towards turn 1. So it's going to be just a couple of ticks longer before they actually get the green flag, rather than like they do at Daytona when they're right square in the middle of the trial over here. But here we go, coming through the trial. Well, these guys are just roaring to go. You can hear them down there, just all that heavy breathing. And then here we go. The green flag is out. Dwayne Vincent, our pole sitter, gets a pretty good start. It takes them a little while to get up to the gears from 1st all the way up to 4th. They probably start in 2nd, though, if I'm not mistaken. And it takes them almost a lap and a half, 2 laps there, Gael, to get full. Oh, we already got one down on the inside of the track there. Brian Macklin on that 30 car. I think that might be his plan, though, is to fall to the back. We'll wait and see here, but he's definitely falling back there.
Yeah, so I think he's definitely wanted a good pit stall, but at the same time, he did not want to be up front. So you see the same from Matthew Welzenbach as well. So there's a lot of guys that are planning to do this ride right in the back to start off the race. But say up front, though, it looks like Daniel Falkingham got a good push from the 31 of Eric Arnold to go ahead and take the lead. Looks like he might lead this first lap.
Tell you what, the hard thing about doing that, ducking down the inside of the backstretch, especially when you have a full field like this, and you're all the way up front, is you don't get to the back of the pack before they enter turn 3. So you wind up going into turn 3 with either too much speed or too low on the track, which really messes you up. But we're okay so far. And like you said, up front, we've already had a lead change. And, I mean, there's no surprise there, folks. You know, it's Eric Arnold and E.J. O'Rourke kind of pushing Dwayne Vincent to the back there. Joey Jatina already up to 3rd from 10th place.
Yeah, I'll say actually Eric Arnold snuck around the outside of Daniel Falkingham, got himself that lap led right off the bat. So now EJ's got the push on the bottom. But yeah, just say Joey's second car up top there and able to push Eric. I say if you're going to be up front, I say those first 2 rows are about the safest place you can be, especially early on.
Absolutely. I tell you what, if we're giving an award for the ugliest car on track, it's got to go to that monstrosity that's leading the race right now. J. O'Rourke's 21. What is that? Fuchsia he's running?
I don't know. I say our trading paints are weird again. I think I still see him with the Gary Mercer trucking paint scheme here.
I've updated it twice, and it comes back with this big, ugly paint car, and he had that in practice as well. But anyway, I digress. So we got a pretty good little race going on up front here. I mean, you got the 31 on the outside of Eric Arnold. He's backed up by Joey Jatina in the 14. Behind Joey, you've got the 92 car of Mike Grandy. And they're trying to get something working there in the outside lane, but not quite organized enough yet to get anything happening.
Yeah, saying right now they're all kind of taking their time. I mean, obviously people want to start moving around a little bit, but it's early. It's only lap 3 of a 76 lap race. So I think things will calm down for a little while, but don't worry. I say if you're wanting to see some 3-wide action, it won't take too long. We'll see it soon.
Absolutely. We've got 4-wide back here with the 06 car of Byron Daly in the middle. The 10 car of Dan Denier was in that thing, and I think the 12 car, Scott Sillian, was the 4th car on the outside. Chad Cole's up in the middle of that. Right now, Daly's the odd man out, kind of stuck down there in the middle line. He's going to squeeze up right there in front of the 4 car. I tell you what, that was a squeeze, all right. That 4 car of Bob Gillenwater, he almost had nowhere to go. Yeah,
that was pretty close right there. I was taking a look as well. I didn't see how it all started, but yeah, that was definitely some tight quarters. I'm guessing patience, the better part of valor there for the 4. It's like, all right, let's just get in line here and not wreck at this early of a stage. But later in the race, I'm guessing they won't be as nice to each other.
Now, I've run Talladega races all week this week across the series, A, B, and C. And the B class was by far one of the harder cars to drive. Especially once the tires start wearing out. After about maybe 10, 15 laps, it starts wiggling a little bit. So we'll keep our eye out for something like that. Now, as far as fuel mileage goes, I want to say they're in the 20 to 25 lap range with this. Oh, look at this up front. We got one hell of a move by Falkingham. He drafts right up on the bumper of the 41 car, VJ O'Rourke, then ducks out to the outside to jump up in front of Eric Arnold at 31 and gets a hell of a push. He and Arnold both clear O'Rourke down low, and they're going to leave Jatina up high by himself there. He's probably going to fall back a couple of spots, but man, that was a hell of a move by Falkingham, the 39.
Yeah, so you just get that move, that push. I say now EJ is going to try to return the favor here. It looks like, if you get that run, I mean, you just got to try to time it right. Make sure you got the push from behind, and then you can make a lot of ground that way. I say it looks like EJ is getting that push right now from Joey Jatina up top. Here comes the 3-wide. He got the 5 car. He's taking a 3-wide here. That's right there.
That's the 34 of Sean Bounty, I believe, and the 48 down low is Jimmy North.
Chris Cabot as well up top with the 12 pushing him. So
yep.
They're trying to make 3-wide work. They only got the 2 of them, though, so I don't think it's going to happen yet. But if they get a few more friends, though, you never know.
Well, Scott Sinley back there in the 12 car started that high line and had about 5 cars behind him, and they made up a lot of ground. But like you said, when you lose your backup up there, you just start falling backwards, and that's what we're seeing now. Give it some time, though. I'm fairly certain, like you said earlier, that once we get down to the last few laps of this race, we'll see 3, 4, 5 wide sometimes. Up front, though, we've got one hell of a fight for the lead from O'Rourke there in the 41. Right now, he's got it. The 39 of Falkingham wants it back. Jatina's got his nose in there, kind of trying to push O'Rourke back up to the front. This is a different Joey Jatina than we've seen in the past. Usually he lays back and tries to take it easy, but he's told me on more than one occasion he's tired of getting caught up in everybody else's crap, so he's just going to start being a little bit more aggressive and try and salvage his season. And he's doing that right now. He's up there on the outside line behind O'Rourke, fighting for a top spot inside the top 5.
Yeah, there's never a safe place here at Talladega or Daytona. And like I said, I feel like the first 2 rows are usually the safest place, especially early on where the pushing's not going to be too aggressive yet. I'd say they'll have to kind of, as I say that, Joey just gets into the back of the 41. EJ makes a really nice save, but Joey definitely got out of the gas there to let him recover there. But, that was a very close call.
Well, look at that. That's sportsmanship right there. I'm guessing O'Rourke looked up in his mirror and saw Jatina got out of shape and lost his line there, so he's going to drop back and maybe help him draft a little bit so he doesn't go too far back. But I got bad news for both of them. They are going to get trained right here. Now up front, we got a 3-wide fight.
Lead.
Look at that. Mike Kelly on the outside with the 92 car of Grandy pushing him down the inside. You got Falkingham, the 13 of Dwayne Vincent in the middle. You got Byron Daly, who was way back there in 15 just 3 laps ago. He's pushing Eric Arnold in that 31. And I tell you what, that high line got hosed again, man. They got hung out to dry, and there they go. Kelly and the 92 of Mike Grandy falling back almost about 13th or 14th, it looks like. But, man, this is some great racing. These guys here at the Sim500, Gael, are some of the best iRacers I've seen ever, to be completely honest with you.
Oh, no, yeah. They're a really talented group of racers that I've been able to actually run some with them as well. Haven't been able to as much as I'd like to lately, but yeah, they kind of checked my ego a little bit when I started racing over here.
Yeah, definitely.
I get pretty happy with the top 5, if even a top 10.
Absolutely. I mean, and I'm not just blowing smoke up people's asses here, folks. I mean this sincerely. I've been sim racing a long time. I'm not that great at it. That's what I'm trying to say. But I've been sim racing a long, long time. I used to run with a group of guys that were known as the Dirty Mo Posse. Dan Denayer is one of the vets of that group. And these guys at Sim500 are, like I said, some of the best on online racing. And some of these guys have actually done laps in real life. We mentioned Joey Jatina earlier. There's several guys in the field tonight that have run a whole vast variety of racing automobiles, from dirt track to asphalt, some road racing as well. But anyway, tell you what, that top 12, it looks like, maybe gapping themselves just a little bit from the rest of the field. Looks like Scott Simley back here. He's got a pretty good spot right there. And then we got Coleman just behind them, the 2-car of Mike Kelly. Chris Cabot's in that picture. But they've got a pretty decent little gap there between them and the rest of the field. It looks like from Scott Sharp maybe to Grandy, and it's about a 0.3 of a second lead there, which is a lot on a super speedway.
Yeah, it really is insane. Like you were mentioning, they're checking up a little bit there with the 5. It looked like it looks like everything's all right. It's just probably the bottom line checks up per usual. But yeah, I was gonna say, kind of that's about where I like to hang out. It's kind of towards the back of the main pack, just that way you can kind of react if you can. But I don't know, we got the top line working again. Now you got the 15. I was just about to say,
Marinac has got some help with Simley and Cole there. Oh, we got a car on the wall. Who is that?
That was the 73.
Casey Campbell, yeah.
Yep.
Let's see what kind of damage he's got. We'll take a look at him. Oh, yeah, he's got a little bit of right side damage. Nothing he can't get fixed on that first stop. That first pit stop should be less than 30 seconds, I'm sure, but definitely going to cost him some positions on track, though. He lost a lot of speed getting up into the wall like that, so he's going to go backwards quickly. Finds himself in the grasp of, what the heck was I trying to say? EJ O'Rourke, that's what I was trying to say.
It looks like he's trying to if he can get back into the draft, I think he'll be all right, which it looks like he's got a couple of cars behind him still. Yeah, he's got Fuller and some other guys back there, so he'll be all right. He just needs to grab the toe and then get back after it. But so I'm going to take a look back up front here. Yeah, they're still going for 3 wide here. Say 15 hasn't given up Steph Marinac. Problem is he's risking losing some of his helpers. I think they're starting to want to drop to the bottom.
Look at this fight.
There you go. They got a really good push there.
It's stacked up 3 by 3 by 3 for the top 9. The outside line is really working well with just 3 cars there, Guy. I'm really surprised. And as I say that, they start to lose just a little bit of ground there. But I mean, that's pretty impressive with those 3 guys making up that kind of ground to get up there and fight for the lead. And here we go. Byron Daly on that inside, middle line, I should say now, trying to fight around Sean Bounty and try to take the lead away from Sean. Sean worked his way up from, let's see, he started back there in 28th spot.
Wow, that's a big
28th spot. He's already up to the lead, fighting for the lead. That's impressive. Of course, Bounty's always been good at these plate tracks. Meantime, we were really talking a lot about 15 of Marinac and Scott, some of that 12 car, and they've lost a lot of ground now. They lost their backup. Most of the guys that were up there with them jumped back down to that middle line and left them hanging there, but they're not giving up yet. They're still up there on the high side trying to make something happen. Gabo coming up the middle now. He's going to be right there on the inside assembly. He's got help from Jimmy North in that 48 car. Meantime, back up front, Bounty fights back on the inside, trying to take the lead away. He's got help with Daniel Falkham down there in 39. Mike Kelly in that number 2 car right behind them. And I tell you what, folks, this has been an entertaining race so far. We're going to leave it on corner to corner for you. That way you won't miss any of this action that's going on. We're going to take a quick break real quick, pay some bills, and when we come back, we'll give you another glimpse at who's in the top 10. So stay tuned to the Sim Racing Network. We shall return.
All right, Watson, let's analyze the chemicals in this cigarette smoke. Cadmium?
Check.
Formaldehyde?
Check.
Arsenic?
Sir, isn't arsenic what they used in rat poison?
Yeah. Arsenic.
Oh, what was I thinking, sir? It's not like we're gonna smoke them.
Neither will the rats.
Tobacco is no joke. Cigarette smoke has over 7,000 chemicals. Learn more at thefactsnow.com.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
And welcome back, racing fans, to the Sim Racing Network's presentation of the Sim500 Kickass Beef Jerky Series here at Talladega Super Speedway. You haven't missed a whole lot. Still a lot of 2x2 by 3x3 by 2x2 racing going on here. Right now, Byron Daly's got the lead on the outside. He's trying to take that lead away from Sean Bounty, but Sean Bounty's got a lot of really good pushing help in the form of that 39 car, Daniel Falkham. Gael, I'll tell you what, I am really impressed with these guys so far. They haven't really been too tame at all. And then here comes that third line again, Gael. You were talking about that earlier. Oh, look out. We got Bounty down in the grass, sliding through pit road. Looks like he's going to keep it straight. No caution, but boy, is that going to hurt his chances of winning tonight. And in the meantime, they're still up there trying to stack it up. It looks like the 48 car. And here's the replay, folks. We'll see what happened here to Sean. And it looked like he got just a bit of a bad bump right there coming through the trial from Falkingham, which sent him, right there. That car is really light coming into that trioval like that. And that's no surprise that Bounty got loose like that, but kept it straight. Thank goodness, because that could have been catastrophic if he'd come back up on track in front of the entire field. But he did not. And unfortunately, he's going to lose some time. But looks like race control is going to clear his black flag. Because as we know, in real life racing, black flag you for taking evasive maneuvers like that. But iRacing's not so nice. It'll black flag you in a hurry. So Jatina lifts those black flags for Bounty, so he should be able to get back into this race. No issues. Unfortunately for him, though, he's going to lose that draft and fall way, way, way back all the way to 31st place, it looks like. In the meantime, that high line, Gael, they're falling backwards again.
Yeah, they make a good run at it, and then they just can't stay together. They kind of start splitting up, like Matthew Welsenbach, who's been trying to make it happen. Steph Marinak's pretty committed to it too, but they just need a couple more guys to commit to it. But it seems like they get assembled well, but then it kind of dissolves too fast. Like right there, they just drop back in line. And yeah, but for Sean Bounty though, that was an amazing save he made. I mean, he was in the grass, he was going straight to the inside pit wall, but was able to get it gathered up. And I mean, he is still on the lap. He's maybe about 5 seconds away. He can pick up with Steve Herring and John Wilco. They're kind of taking the more cautious approach so far in this race. But as I say that, though, you got Matthew going for the lead right here with help from Steph Marinak. If he can get at least 1 or 2 more guys, I think they could make a real charge here.
I'm sure of it. I mean, I've seen it all week long. That outside line, if you get at least 4 cars up there, it's strong. It's real strong. But
So I
here we
think
go.
it's
Look
happening
at
now.
that.
So you got
Yep.
Mike Grandy, and you've got the 12 of Scott Simley. And I say, and as you said, they're coming around the 2 right now of Mike Kelly.
And the 5th car jumps up there to give them a hand, see if they can't, pull some more ground here. Byron Daly's got that lead down there on the inside line, but like we said, that outside line's forming up really nice now. They got 5 cars. They're dead even with a 2 car of Mike Kelly right there coming down to the tri-oval. Just as I say that, look at that, a little bit more ground. That 5th guy back there jumped back down to that middle line. You really got to commit, Gael. You really got to commit to that high line if you're going to make it work.
Yeah, so you got to commit and saying there's still about half a car length between each of them in that line. They need to be a little tighter for it to really work. Because as I say that, Steph gives Matthew a pretty nice shove there. And as he sees, starts coming around the 80. But I think a lot of right now too is I think people are starting to jockey for position to get a good pit entry.
We ride on board right now with Chad Cole, who's having a great run right now, Gael. He's making this look easy. He really is.
Yeah, he was just riding the low line for most of the race until about just this past lap or so. And I say he jumped to the middle groove, and then Dwayne Vincent decided to join the party, get a good push from him, and they're challenging for the lead here coming into turn 1. And I said I'm kind of thinking Chad may have been saving fuel that first part, because in the draft you can really just part throttle at most of the lap, especially if you got cars behind you as well. That really helps you out. So maybe I think some of the pit stops might be coming the next 5 laps or so. Maybe he'll try to stretch that extra lap to take that little bit less fuel towards the end if needed.
Absolutely. Here we are, lap 21, coming around to take 22. This is about the time we thought they'd be coming in for fuel. I'm not real sure on that. I could be completely off on that. But I was thinking it was somewhere between 20 and 25 laps on fuel. But we're going to find out shortly. I'll tell you what, the way they're stacked up right now, this 2x2, it's not conducive to safe pit entries.
Yeah, we'll probably see a lot of hands waving out the window soon, chatting in TeamSpeak and then the in-game chat and everything like that to let people know that's going to be happening soon. But again, the nice part here with Talladega is you can get off of 4, get to below the yellow line, and then get on your brakes. So you don't have to slow down in front of the field if everything lines up correctly, and you can kind of get a good teamwork done with all the drivers around you. So it can be done. More often than not, though, there are usually a few hiccups.
Yeah, I've seen it a couple times where they'll tell each other, I'm going to go low, you go high as they go into the pits. That way they don't wind up getting into each other. That usually works out pretty well for them. But this is Talladega, and we've seen crazy things here happen in the past. In the meantime, it's kind of calmed down a little bit out there, Gael. Not a whole lot of beating and banging or bump traffic or anything like that. No challenging moves. We got the 13 car of Dwayne Vincent trying to take the lead away from Byron Daly. Dwayne started on the pole here. He's got a change of colors tonight. He usually runs the Basco car, but now he's got a different car color there. It's like he's sponsored by the Parker store now. He's got Chad Cole right there pushing him in the 82 car. That Valvoline car looks really good out there. Meantime, that inside line still Byron Daly, Eric Arnold, and Daniel Falkingham, joined by the 3 car now. 3 car is going to be Jimmy Coleman. Is he related to Chad? Does anybody know? Nope, my producer's telling me no, so that's interesting. I didn't realize that there was another Coleman in this field. But anyway, so, we got a nice, calm is not the word I want to use, but it's the one I'm going to use. A nice calm race going on right now. The first 3 wide fight we really got going on is back there around Mark Creighton in that 80 car. It looks like Scott Simley was trying to take that spot away and kind of moved himself into a little 3 wide spot, but he backed out pretty quick. Skimley. I'm sorry, folks. Sometimes I amuse even myself.
Yeah, so I'm taking a look further back to say there's a few of these guys like Justin Fuller and Joey Jattina. They're probably a little bit in the danger zone of falling out of the draft. I mean, they got a fair group of cars right with them too, but they're going to have to start working pretty hard together, I think, to try to push back up to the 46 of Fred Thompson. So, especially if pit stops are coming soon, that's really when you want to be as close to the front as you can. So, we'll to see how if they work together to push their way back up to the main draft.
Well, we've gone caution free so far here at Talladega. I hope I didn't curse them just by saying that. We're here on lap 25. They just came through the first turn there, taking lap 25. And we should theoretically start seeing some green flag pit stops happening soon, and probably seeing some guys trying to jockey down to the bottom. Some guys might just try and get in there from the middle lane where they're at. We'll find out here shortly as we take a 10-second pause for station identification. And we're back from that little pause, folks. And, you know, I was just looking at the scoreboard here, the Sim Racing app scoreboard that I got up. And believe it or not, Bounty, Wilco, and Herring are actually pulling away from that lead pack that was, you know, coming up on them, about to put them a lap down. And I'm not real sure what happened to Welton back, but he's fallen 17 seconds behind this pack here. I'm not real sure if he got bumped there and got swirly or what, but he was fighting for, you know, 9th or 10th not too long ago.
Yeah, so I'm going to take a look back, see if I can see anything on my end as well. Yeah, you're definitely right. He was in the pack on lap 23, so I'll say as you watch live, I'm going to take a look back and see what happened
Oh,
here.
He's got damage too. A lot of damage there.
Oh, yep. Let me take a look. I just saw entering 3, he was behind the 12 and in front of the 15. And looks like he just got in a little bit too high, scrubbed the wall, and then he and Steph Marinac unfortunately kind of collided. And everybody did a good job actually not wrecking behind him. Yeah, so that's what definitely hurt him, and I think that's also, like we mentioned, where they were falling away from the draft. That's how that group got split up.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, up front we had some jockeying for the lead. Cole pushed Vincent into the lead. Vincent ducked down and left him up there hanging, so Byron Daly ducked up around him, got pushed to the lead by Cole. Cole got ditched again, and it's pretty much where we are now, is they're just jockeying for the lead right there, those cars. But poor Chad Cole, man, he's got no friends out there at the moment.
Yeah, so he's probably trying to do some work right now with the two of...
Oh! Contact between Jimmy North and Falkingham. It was close. Falkingham kept it under control. North is going to drop back a little bit, but, you know, again, right there in the trioval, it looked like he just got a little loose and got down to each other. And that's going to get worse as this race keeps going. We're at lap 28 now. These guys have got to be getting, really loose there, Guy, with these tires being, so worn out. And, well, I wouldn't say so worn out. Really, the tire wear here is minimal. But you're lighting the fuel tank also, which really causes that back end to dance around.
Yeah, exactly. Just the back gets pretty light on these things, and yeah, it just doesn't drive like it did initially. And I'll say it took him a little bit to gather back up, and I'll say now you got Mike Kelly right behind him, and then Jimmy Coleman as well. So Chad might get that push. He needs to maybe see if he can sneak a lap let in here, but at the moment though, Byron Daly's still holding on to that top spot.
Byron Daly is indeed holding on to that top spot, and it's really impressive how they're out there just duking it out like this, and we've already covered how loose these cars are in the tri-oval. They're really just coming off exit also. I mean, I've seen, just a small tap at the wrong spot on exit of the turn result in a catastrophic wreck, so we kind of trying to avoid that. In the meantime, it looks like the leaders have caught, I think that's the 98 up there. Yeah, that's all three of those cars. We were just talking about them. They were pulling away, but now they're not so much. So there goes the 98 a lap down. 34 Sean Bounty, who was fighting for the lead not too long ago. He's going to go a lap down. And just in front of him is the John Wilco car, I believe that is. Yeah, the 62 John Wilco.
Yep. I was saying they've done a really good job. They got to the very, very top. Don't want to try to affect the leaders right now. They know it's still a long ways to go. And
well, speaking of leaders, though, I'm going to walk on you, but Cole and Mike Kelly took advantage of that, I guess, and used the extra draft to get by Byron Daly on the outside. So Cole is now in the lead. But hello, look at this. Mike Kelly jumps up to the outside, trying to get Jimmy North to help push him past Cole down there bottom. Cole backs up a little bit to Byron Daly in that 06. Will he be able to come back and make his bid for that lead to get it back? And it looks like no. The 2 car of Mike Kelly's going to duck down, ditch the 48 up there on the high side. He's going to take the lead over from Chad Cole in the 82. But look at this move right here. Cole jumps back up to the outside to get Jimmy North that 48 to give him the shove to try and take that lead back away from Mike Kelly. Coming down through the tri-oval now. Don't forget, folks, that start-finish line is way down here, right there. But give that lead to Chad Cole at the line barely by maybe 3 inches, it looks like.
Yeah, so according to the timing and scoring, it was 0.02 of a second right there by the start-finish line.
That's insane. That's really insane. But, man, look at this. They're still digging it out. I guess we were way off on our calculations on fuel there, Gael, because here we are, lap 31, and nobody has come to the pits for fuel.
Yes, and that makes me wonder, too, what the field number actually is then. I say they might be running more than some of the other series have been. Because I know a lot of series run a lower fuel number to let you make you have to pit more frequently. So, okay, so they do run a full tank here. So yeah, I say I might have to go and see if I can have a chat with one of the crew chiefs here in just a moment, see if I can find out how many laps they should be able to make it on fuel.
Well, in the meantime, look at this fight on the outside. Byron Daly in that 06 is getting pushed by Chris Cole on the outside there, trying to wrestle that lead away from the 2 car of Mike Kelly down the outside. Chad Cole is got the back of the 06 car, the 13 car down the inside. He's pushing Mike Kelly. That's Dwayne Vincent, our pole sitter. And in the meantime, the 39 car, Daniel Falkham's just chilling out back there. He's been back there, folks. He's been just kind of hanging out in the top 5, top 10 the entire race so far. Here we are, lap 32, and they are still stacked up 2 by 2 by 2, but we have not had a caution yet. We've had a couple of close calls. Sean Bounty got sent down through the pits into the grass. Matthew Welton back got up into the wall and got rear-ended, got some damage from that. But, here we go. A little bump from Dwayne Vincent in the tri-oval again, sends Mike Kelly down the inside, but he doesn't even lift. Jumps back up on track to maintain his spot down there on the lead of that inside line, but that's going to give the advantage to Byron Daly in that 06 and Chad Cole in the 82 there, and put those 2 out front, 1 and 2.
Yeah, it's another close call, and like I said, just bum traffic go wrong here, and it ends badly. So I stepped away for a second there. I was able to sneak a chat in with the crew chief of Chris Jabot, and he says that they at least for them, other drivers may be different. They've got about 10 more laps of fuel remaining, so they should be able to get to about lap 43 or so, which will put them really close on the window. So if there's some drivers saving, they might be able to one-stop it, which would add even one more thing to play into the hand of this.
Wow, I'm just impressed by that. That's a lot of laps, because the Cup cars in the Open weren't even getting 27 laps on a tank of fuel unless you were feathering your throttle a lot back there in the back of the pack, and then you could maybe squeeze out 28, 29 laps. But you know what else is impressive is Joey Jettina has worked his way back up from 29th, where he fell all the way back to earlier, and he's up inside the top 15 right now, riding in 13th place. Meantime, our leaders have caught another lap car. That looks like...
That's 29, Matthew Welsenbach, who has that damage.
Yeah. He's going down another lap. He might want to look at getting that fixed as soon as possible. So here we are, lap 34, and you heard it from Gael, man. He talked to the Chris Jabot's crew chief, and these guys have at least till lap 40 on fuel. Some guys might be able to go a little further. Some guys might be a little bit less, depending on where they ran in this pack, Gael. But still, we can look for some green flag pit stops here before much longer.
Yeah, same. Actually, we just got some takers. We've got the 10 of Dan Denayer, Ryan Howard, and Dwight Beverly and Randy Yoakum all came in together. It's like they have a plan to do it in thirds here, pit right at lap 33, 34. Split it up, not try to stretch it, but unfortunately I think a few of them may have missed their pit marks a little bit, so that's going to hurt them.
Whoops, yeah, that's going to hurt you on track. Hopefully they'll still be able to keep within earshot of each other. There's 5 cars, so that'll help. Oh, we got a car on the wall. That's the 20 car of Chad Coleman. He's way slow up there. I'm not real sure what happened to him just now, but he got in the wall a little bit and backed everybody up back there behind him. Let's see, Sean Bounty. I'm not real sure what happened. I'm going to get a look at this replay real quick and see what happened to Chad Coleman there in that 20 car. And it looks like he just...
Same thing. It's actually identical to Matthew Welsenbach. You get so close to that car in front of you, you kind of lose your point of view, basically entering turn 3 and just scrub the wall a little bit. And looks like, I think he's all right. He didn't hit it too hard, just lost some momentum, but I think he's going to be able to recover pretty well. I'm
telling you, Bounty's probably wide awake now, because that was right in front of him, and I'm sure that he was squealing a little bit there. Oh my God! But anyway, back up front, we've still got Byron Daly showing the way with Chad Cole on his bumper in a 13 car. Pulsar, Dwayne Vincent bringing up third. They're single file, but still 2 by 2 behind them for 4th on back. And here we are, lap 36 now, coming to the line of take 37, I believe, and 2 more cars on pit road. My producer's telling me.
Yeah, it's Mike Grandy and Jeff Sharp, just the 2 of them. I noticed also the leaders are just catching right now. They're catching the 33 and the 10 who pitted, and they also already put some of the other cars a lap down that had just pitted earlier as well. So there's going to be also a bit of a fight here to try to be that first car one lap down in case of a lucky dog, or in case of a caution, try to get that lucky dog.
Right on. Well, folks, don't forget, these are green flag pit stops, and that's really going to spread this field out a lot. As you see, 2 cars here, 2 cars there, 5 cars here, 5 cars there. Now, like Gael touched on earlier, that first 5-car pack ducked in, a couple of them missed their pit stops and had to back up a little bit. So that's why they're so spread out. But in the meantime, up front, it's now a 4-car, I wouldn't say breakaway, but 4 cars. Well, I'm going to make that back down to 3 because there's Mike Kelly on the outside with Daniel Falkingham pushing him just a little bit. But these guys, you start thinking about getting down to the bottom there, Gael. That's lap 38 right there at the line, and they're going to have to start pitting here pretty soon.
Yeah, I think that's what we talked about earlier. We had our laps wrong, but yeah, everybody's going to start jockeying and get to the bottom here. And so maybe a little bit of teamwork, hopefully, where some of the guys be like, hey, I need to pit here. Maybe open up a gap and I can try to slice my way in here as they just come around up there. The 57, I believe, of Jeff Sharp. So he's doing a really nice job staying off onto the apron to not affect anybody in the draft, force any unnecessary 3 wides there.
Yeah, that's really good sportsmanship on the behalf of Jeff Sharp in that 57 car. So here we are at the line here shortly, coming around the trioval right now. And when we take the line this time by, it'll be lap 39 out of 76. We're just a little bit past the halfway point. So I'm pretty sure most of these guys are just trying to stretch it to where they can make sure they can only make it on this stop. They don't have to make any more stops if it goes green the rest of the way, as opposed to the rest of the field. These guys that have already pitted before this, they may be good though, especially if they're just feathering their throttle a little bit, because who knows how much fuel they had left in the tank. But in the meantime, look at this, man. Those 2 cars on the outside are still just hanging out right there, Gael, and not really falling back too far.
I'm impressed that they're able to hang on like they have with the 2. They've got help right now coming with Eric Arnold in the 31. It looks like the bottom line isn't too lined up well. Like they're not right on top of each other. They've got a couple, like a car length or 2 in between them. So that's definitely not helping. Whereas Daniel Falkingham is really giving Mike Kelly a nice push there. Now that you got Eric Arnold joining the mix there, here they come right back up to the lead.
Indeed. Now, I'm looking at the front of Falkingham. He's got some right front damage. Not real sure what happened there, but it doesn't seem to be affecting the performance of his race car, as he's given some really good drafting help there. The 2-car of Mike Kelly. Behind him is the 31 of Eric Arnold. Now, all these guys, we got 4 more cars on pit road right now.
Yeah, we got some teamwork going
Brian
on here.
Macklin and Brian Wertman are on the pits right now.
And so you got Macklin, like you said, EJ, Fuller, and Wertman. So some teamwork going on there for that pit stop. Hopefully they can get it lined up well and get it in and out quickly. Although it looks like Fuller did not have the stop.
Here we go. Leaders on pit road. Brian Daly's coming in. We got a good 4, 5, 6, 7 cars coming to pit road now. Hopefully everybody can get it woed down. Some of those guys, they're coming in pretty hot. So that's going to give the lead now to, it looks like Mike Kelly on the outside line there in the 2-car. And behind him is the
39 of Daniel Falkingham, yeah?
Yeah, producers telling me that Daly slid through his pit, so that's going to hurt him on track. And he's going to have to hope and pray that he doesn't lose too much of the draft right there when he comes out of these pits. When he's done with his pit stop there. In the meantime, we look to see the rest of the field start heading to pit road here pretty shortly. Gael, this could get interesting because we got some really fast cars coming on the outside here trying to get their lap back.
Yeah, so this is where at least the leaders. Here comes the main league pack. They're all coming in right now.
A lot of cars come screaming down here into pit road. It's like you said, you can wait until the last minute to come off of turn 4 and get down underneath that yellow line, or you can duck out as soon as you come off turn 4. But either way you do it, we got all these guys on pit road now, and we'll see if they can all get in and get out without too many mistakes. But you know what that does? That gets Dan Denier back on the lead lap. And by the time these guys are all done with their pit stops, and he's got this drafting line that he's got 4 more cars behind him, he may just be able to take over that lead. We're going to have to wait and see here.
Yeah, they were able to get the main draft caught up there. So, yeah, it'll be pretty interesting to see how it turns out here. Everybody's filing out of the pits pretty well. For as big of a group as that was, they did a really good job getting in and out as a pack. Mike Kelly got out right with Daniel Falkingham right behind him, and then a little bit of a gap to Eric Arnold and Chad Cole, but not too bad at all. And then you've got Simley and Chris Gabot need to get that single file because 2 wide is not going to work very well here in pit exit.
So everybody's hit pit road now. It's all cycled through, and we're going to see how it winds up with the leaders pitting, and then the guys that had pitted shortly before them, and that's what I love about Talladega, Gael, is when you get these green flag pit stops like this, it really spreads things out. You can see who screwed up on pit road really easy. You can see who had decent pit stops because, everybody's not where they used to be.
Yeah, saying here comes Byron Daly pushing Jordan Hightower in the 22. They had a good head of steam with Chad Coleman. They're going to fly right on by and take the lead here after they pitted, I think, one lap or two earlier than the main group. And yeah, sure enough, pop in the lead there, get back to the bottom, and that was a pretty good run there for them.
Indeed, it is. That 22 car is looking pretty stout right now, and gets in the pits, gets out, and finds himself in the lead. And we are at lap 43 out of 76. So we've got about 33 or 34 laps left in this contest, and it's not over yet. It's not over till they see that checkered flag running, so who knows what's going to happen next, but we're nice and strung out now, Gael. So while we are finally done with pit stops and green flag pit stops and whatnot, we're going to take another break, folks. We're going to leave it on corner to corner for you so you can keep an eye on all the action. If anything happens, we'll come directly back. But we're going to take this moment, take a break, pay some bills, and we shall return. Stay tuned to the Sim Racing Network.
All right, Watson, let's analyze the chemicals in this cigarette smoke. Cadmium?
Check.
Formaldehyde?
Check.
Arsenic?
Sir, isn't arsenic what they used in rat poison?
Yeah, isn't arsenic what they use in rat poison?
Oh, what was I thinking, sir? It's not like we're gonna smoke them.
Neither will the rats.
Tobacco is no joke. Cigarette smoke has over 7,000 chemicals. Learn more at thefactsnow.com.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
And welcome back, folks, to the Sim Racing Network's presentation of the Sim500 Kickass Beef Jerky Series Sunday Night Xfinity Racing here at Talladega. And I love these guys, but I hate them sometimes, Gael, because they make me look stupid, which I can do just fine on my own. I don't need their help. But 9 times out of 10, Gael, when you have green flag pit stops and you come back, the field is spread out, especially here at Talladega. But look at this. These guys are all bunched up again. It's insane, man.
Well, I say we weren't joking. I said these guys are good at what they do. I say you've had a bunch of people pitting at different laps, and I actually was wrong. I thought they would all take 2 tires in fuel. Looks like everybody took 4 with fuel because they're running the full fuel tanks. And yeah, saying they're all right back in line with each other. Say Justin Fuller did have issues in his pit stop, so he's a lap down with the lead pack. So he's just trying to get his lap back, ideally through Lucky Dog. Same thing for Sean Bounty. However, he's there's 2 cars in between him on the top line to getting to Fuller, so they'll have to fight for that one. But yeah, wreck in front.
Oh, big wreck, huge wreck. The leaders get involved in this one, and Joey Jattina's going to be involved in it. That was huge. It looked like it started up front too, which is never a place you want to make a mistake, especially here at Talladega. Starts off with, it looks like Byron Daly down there. He got a little tap from the 31, it looks like. We're going to roll the replay for you as soon as we can, folks. But, man, that is just unfortunate because that took out a lot of good race cars.
Yeah, I'm trying to take a look, see exactly how it all went down. Say we got the replay.
Look at this replay. Like I said, it looks like it was just a bad bump draft there going into turn 1. Eric Arnold got into the back of Daly. Daly spun, collected a whole bunch of cars. There was some chain reaction spinning going on there also. That's unfortunate. Looks like we got the, whoops. Let's see who else is involved here. Oh, man, that's just, wow. That was big. That was huge. Never want to see the leaders get in trouble like that. But that got Chris Cabot, got Dwayne Vincent, our pole sitter, got Jimmy North, got the 15 car. Steph Marinac was involved, the 14 of Joey Jatina. He tried to get woed down, but he still got in the back of Chris Cabot there. And folks, we hate to see things like that happen, but it's part of Talladega, and you know, that's just is what it is. So in the meantime, that's going to leave Jordan Hightower with the lead, and it looks like he and Mike Kelly were really the only ones that came out of that entire fiasco unscathed there, Gael.
Yeah, there were a few I think that still were able to sneak through there. I think I have to look at it a little closer. I think Chad Cole might be all right. I can't tell for Chad Coleman. And I looked at Joey's car. He's got a little bit of nose damage, but I think he might be all right, especially in the draft. He might have a hard time leading the draft, but I think he might be in still pretty good shape. However, I'm thinking we might see some green flag pit stops here, so I think this will put them in the window to make it.
You know, I just noticed Coleman's hood logo. There's got to be some copyright infringement going on there.
Not as many takers as I thought. EJ O'Rourke is in, as well as Simley. I'm saying, of course, some of the damaged cars, but I thought more people would pit here for fuel, but maybe more can make it than I realized.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens here. I think they all should have been good, except for the guys that pitted before lap 40. But like the producer's saying now, with this caution out, they'll all be okay. So it's just really a matter of who's going to take some tires here and who doesn't. We were at lap 50. That's going to put us about 20. Hiller. We must be having. We got some.
All right, Watson, let's analyze the chemicals in this cigarette smoke. Cadmium?
Check.
Formaldehyde?
Check.
Arsenic?
Sir, isn't arsenic what they used in rat poison?
Yeah, isn't arsenic what they use in rat poison?
Oh, what was I thinking, sir? It's not like we're gonna smoke them.
Neither will the rats.
Tobacco is no joke. Cigarette smoke has over 7,000 chemicals. Learn more at thefactsnow.com.
My doctor calls me and says, Chris, I have the results of your scan. This is saying you have lung cancer. And that was probably the single most shocking thing anyone's ever told me in my life.
How can I have lung cancer? I'm 39. How can I have lung cancer? I do kick myself almost daily for ever starting smoking. I really do.
Quit your way. Visit tobaccofreeflorida.com.
All right, Watson, let's analyze the chemicals in this cigarette smoke. Cadmium?
Check.
Formaldehyde?
Check.
Arsenic?
Sir, isn't arsenic what they used in rat poison?
Yeah, isn't arsenic what they use in rat poison?
Oh, what was I thinking, sir? It's not like we're gonna smoke them.
Neither will the rats.
Tobacco is no joke. Cigarette smoke has over 7,000 chemicals. Learn more at thefactsnow.com.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
And welcome back to Sim Racing Network's coverage of the Sim500 Kickass Beef Jerky Series, Sunday Night Xfinity Racing here at Talladega. Folks, sorry about the technical issues we had there. Apparently the party got a little bit too much down there in the production van, and old Aaron Groskoff managed to unplug TeamSpeak, but we're back and we're live, and we're glad you're still with us if you still are. If not, you're lost because we're having one hell of a race here, Gael.
Yeah, this has definitely been an exciting one. I say that wreck took out a lot of strong cars, but I think there's still a handful that can definitely put a challenge for us. I'm looking at a lot of them, actually. I think at least the top 12 or so are still ready to go. I say come and pace cars off. Say go green once you come around the tri-oval here.
And I'll tell you what, this is going to put us good for gas and tires all the way to the end. So if these guys can just give us another show like we had earlier, this would be great. Here we go through the tri-oval. Don't forget, folks, that green flag comes out late here because the start-finish line is way down towards turn 1 here at Talladega, unlike Daytona where it's right smack in the middle of the tri-oval. But I tell you what, we got a strong field still left, really. We got a lot of strong cars that have been running up front all night long. Boy, I don't know what happened to that restart right there, but Mike Kelly was sleeping, so he's going to stack up the entire outside line and give at least the top 3 of the inside line there, Gael, a chance to get away.
Yeah, it was a little odd. He was staying really high on the restart as well, like under caution. I kind of expect him to hold the middle bottom a little more, but yeah, that's going to take some time to recover from, unfortunately. I'm curious to see if Chad tries to drop to the bottom here right as he has that gap behind Ryan Howard, but looks like he might hold station.
All right, well, I'll tell you, the fun never stops here. These guys, I guess they just want to make it live for, a little bit lively for us there, Gael. They want to make sure that we're still awake up here in the booth because, it was kind of a long green flag run for a while there.
Yeah, so it was definitely a long run. They did a really good job. Like I said, got a green flag pit stop in. And it really looked like things were kind of getting single file. Well, not single file, I should say, because they were all pretty much 2x2. But again, it all happened so fast. Just get one wrong push, and it looked like you got that push in that right rear quarter. And just, and then it stacks up cars pretty fast. So,
well, I'll tell you what, EJ O'Rourke jumped up there on the outside line. He's pulling those guys along now, coming back around the top there, trying to get up there and wrestle that lead away from Jordan Hightower at 22. But Jordan's got the 20 car of Chad Coleman, down there on the inside line. He's got Falkingham still fighting away right there. Daniel Falkingham's not really gone too far from our sights. This entire evening he's been running top 5 all night long. But I tell you what, I'm really impressed with the 14 car of Joey Jatina up there on the high side. Joey's been through a ringer of a night, man. He was up there fighting for the lead, got a little out of shape, fell all the way back to like 29th, fought his way back up inside the top 5 before that prior caution, and I thought he had gotten a chunk of that last caution, but apparently it wasn't enough to slow him down because here he is in 9th place, trying to keep up that outside line there.
Yeah, so he definitely got some nose damage. I looked at it pretty closely, and actually his crew did a really nice job getting it repaired. It looks pretty good. I said he might still struggle a little bit if he tries to lead, but I think he'll be no problem if he can push. I just maybe he has to just try to make that right move at the right time to still go for a win here.
Absolutely. I'll tell you, with the damage on his nose, one thing he's definitely got to be careful of when he's bump drafting is overheating. That's something we've learned the hard way. These cars do not like that nose damage at all, but he did stay in the pits and get his repairs made, so hopefully that won't be an issue with him. But man, look how they're stacking up right now there up front. I mean, it's a battle. You think this is the last lap. It's lap 56 right here. They just took the flags. There's 21 laps to go, but they're acting like it's the last lap.
Yeah, so now it's time that everybody's going to try to get the position they think they need to be in to make that late race charge.
You had it right. Late ram. That's right.
But yeah, so no, you got about the top. Looks like I think top 10, about the top 10 are all right together. And then you got the second group starting to catch back up. I'm saying there's a few more damaged cars in there. Like Scott Sinley's got some rear end. Looks like punched in a little bit. But he's got Fuller tucked down to him, and they're actually making a really big run here, looking to make it 3 wide, going to the top and saying they got a big head of steam, but my only concern is I don't see any help behind them.
Now, those 2 cars all by themselves, they might get up to about the 3rd row, 4th row, but they're going to fizzle out right there, especially when Fuller ditches Simley on the outside like that. So long, neighbor. Appreciate you. But I tell you what, oh, my goodness, man. EJ O'Rourke, look at this, the 2 car up high to block the 82 of Chad Cole. So Chad says, okay, fine, back down to the middle there, which kind of inadvertently creates a high line of the 2 and a 3 car, and they're just going to fall back. It looks like somebody pulled a parachute cord there on the 2 car there, Gael.
Yeah, you gotta be careful when you pull those moves, because you get the wrong person, and it's like, yeah, okay, you know what, I'm just going to drop back in here and leave you out to dry, and good luck getting your spots back. I think what happened with Fuller was actually some strategy on his part to try to be that first car lap down, because he was actually behind John Wilco and Sean Boundy, and so he was able to push that to the 3 wide.
I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, you're good.
O'Rourke just ditched Cole. He got the lead, with Cole's help, and jumped down inside and in front of Jordan Hightower at 22. But look at this. Cole's got a little bit of help now from Jimmy Coleman up high. O'Rourke tries the side draft going down the backstretch. Didn't work for him, though. And it looks like Cole's got an inch ahead just a little bit going into 3, but back on the inside. It was O'Rourke at the 41 with the help of the 22 of Hightower. So we got 2 by 2 by 2 by 2 by 2 by 2 all the way back. My God, I think the end of the track, really.
Yeah, so that definitely almost looks like a pace lap here, and yeah, Jimmy North's definitely trying to push Chad as best he can, and it looks like the same thing. It looks like pretty much the way it's working is you got the top 2 pushing real hard, and then the third car in line doesn't want to push too much because you just worry about that accordion effect where if you push them wrong, that'll hit the leader wrong, and that's where it all goes poorly. But yeah, I'd say they're holding pretty even. I'll say Chad gets a little bit of a wiggle there with the push by Jimmy, but Jimmy kind of backed out of it just to give Chad that little bit of time to regroup and make sure he didn't get it spin him as well there. So yeah, it's a bit of an art form to get this bump drafting working.
Wow, Jordan Hightower was really out of shape right there. He got down on the apron just a little bit and wiggled left and right a couple of times and gathered it back up and didn't get out of the gas at all. And now he's making a charge on the outside line, trying to get the push from Chad Cole in that 82 to maybe take that lead away from the 41 of EJ O'Rourke. And I'm seeing a pink car, but apparently nobody else does. But in the meantime, on that outside line, it looks like it's going to be Hightower, Chad Cole, the 48 of Jimmy North, and Justin Fuller, who's a lap down, folks, but he's just trying to stay right there in that spot to get that lucky dog. If by chance of caution comes out. And back in the back somewhere, it looks like Sean Bounty up high, all by himself in that high line there, Gael, trying to make something work there.
Yeah, so he's going to have to try to be a little bit aggressive and try to make something happen. But yeah, the problem, as we talked about before, you got to have some friends here and have people with the same mindset as you. And I'd say a lot of these guys those who are in the lead laps, like, well, hey, we still got 15 to go, so it's not time for me to make that bonsai run up on the top lane yet. But I'm pretty sure we are going to see it probably in the next 5 to 10 laps at the most.
Well, I'll tell you what, folks, if you like what you're watching here, make sure you stop by our Facebook page and give us a like. Look for us on YouTube and Twitch. Oh, O'Rourke down there on the apron too. These guys don't understand that apron's not your friend here. But as I was saying, our triple threat of broadcasting, Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. Give us likes and follows. Get your notifications set up so you get notified whenever we go live. It helps to know when that happens. Maybe hit up some of our sponsors that help us out with this broadcast every week. We got great guys like Mitch Rollo and Aaron Grotzkoff, Ben Kilcrease, all part of the crew here that make this work. But we need you, the viewers, to maybe spread the word out there and let folks know that we're here giving you quality shows if you like us. So, make sure you give us a like and a follow and mention us in your post if you can. Well, back to the racing, Gael, and I tell you what, these guys aren't scared at all. Even after that big, huge crash we had up front with leaders bump drafting and things going wrong, they're right back at it now.
Yeah, it just takes out some of the competition. That means you can race a little more aggressively, right?
That's right, man. Separates the wheat from the chaff, or however the hell them farmers say that.
Yeah, they're definitely starting to move around a lot more. I think that the drafts are starting to get a little tighter. Pushes are going to get a little more aggressive. You'll probably see a little bit more attempts to try to push in the turn if you need to. The other thing is you just got to be really careful not to deviate off your line, because there's one point where Jimmy North got a little bit high, and it looked like Fuller wanted to really fill that gap, but Jimmy was able to sneak back down before it happened.
Well, folks, that was the 31 car up high there that time by Eric Arnold. Was one of our front runners, but was unfortunately involved in that caution, and he just goes one lap down just now. We'll see if he can catch on to the back end of this lead draft at least and hang out with him for a little while. But back up front, Hightower still holding strong on the outside line there with help from Chad Cole in the 82. Behind them is Jimmy North. They got that lap car of Justin Fuller back there in the 51. The high line is looking pretty good. Well, I should say, I guess, the middle line, really. That's where those guys are running. But O'Rourke powering by on the inside there with a little bit of a nudge from Chad Coleman in that 20 car. And down there on the inside, third row back, Daniel Falkenham. Still, the points that are just kind of hanging out there. But look right behind him, Gael. We've got the 14 of Joey Jatina riding in 7th place.
Yeah, I'd say he's doing a really good job. Like I said, just trying to manage with that damage, doing the best he can, I think, to still salvage a good finish with a little bit of damage. I mean, I noticed in the Xfinity race on Saturday, the winner of that race had some pretty good tape on the side of that car, so it can be done.
Yes, he did.
he'll use that one for some motivation, I believe.
Absolutely. If it can be done there, it can be done here, right? That's the way it works.
That's iRacing's goal, I believe, is to try to mimic the actual product. So
yep. Look at this. We got 3 cars braving that high line up there. It's Scott Simley again. He's got help from the 33 car this time, the good-looking Bojangles car, and that's going to be Ryan Howard in that 33, and behind him is Randy Yoakum. Those 3 guys are up there on that high side trying to get something going, but they're really going to need at least 2 more cars, Gael, if they want to make anything happen with that.
Yeah, they need a few more to make it happen. Let's say what might happen is if they can get enough of a push, some of the guys in front of them may say, ooh, that's looking pretty tempting, try to slide up there and then be the leader of that top groove. I think that will happen in the next 5 laps or so, because I think that's where it's like, okay, I'm done riding 2x2. Time to see if I can be the one to make that right move at the right time to push to the front.
Absolutely. And speaking of laps, folks, we're at lap 65 right now on the backstretch of lap 65. They come back this time by. It'll be lap 66. 11 laps to go. Oh, here we go. 3 wide up front. Hightower made a little bit of the wrong move there. Finds himself in the middle, but he's got help with Justin Fuller there on the inside, or middle, I should say. And look at this. Now we have a 3 wide fight. 3x3x3 all the way back to about 12, it would look like. In the meantime, O'Rourke looks up in his mirror and says, hey, I'll take this and run with it. So he's off to, well, he thought he was going to get away with the lead right there, but look at this back on the middle line right there at Hightower, getting a push from that lap car of Justin Fuller in the 51. So it's 2x2 for first through fourth, and then 3x3x3 on the way back.
Yeah, so Jimmy Norris definitely trying to push Chad Cole as best he can. And I think that was exactly what Simley and the 33 Ryan Howard were looking for. So now they've got the 5 cars in the third lane. They just need to try to get a little tighter formed, I think, and they can really make a run with that top side. But right now, Jimmy's right on Chad, but they really need Simley to be on them too.
Absolutely. I don't know if Simley can get up there. He's got that pretty heavy damage on the rear end there. He's going to need help. In the meantime, look at that move that Weltenbach just made. Jumps from the middle down to the inside, trying to work his way to the inside of the 14 of Joey Jatina. In the meantime, that high line's just fading back. Chad Cole, who was just up there in second place and now finds himself fighting for 8th place on the high line. They really need some help from those 2 cars behind them. 12 car of Scott Simley and 33 car, of Ryan Howard. But I just don't think Simley's got what it takes to get up there and push.
Yeah, I think just that little bit too much of damage. Unfortunately, he's fallen back into the middle line, unfortunately. So a little bit of touch from Macklin onto Jatina, but it's like he's able to hang on to it. And that might be where that was where you kind of hope to see maybe they'll break the draft just that little bit. Maybe Chad could try to sneak in back to the middle, but no avail there. And however, Simley is starting to close that gap a little bit onto the 48 of Jimmy North. So hopefully we'll see that third line pick up here. And I think there's a race within a race happening here, where obviously you got the race for the win, but there's a lot of guys trying to make sure they can be that lucky dog, because obviously right now Macklin's holding it, but you've got Welzenbach, you've got...
No, Fuller's got it right now.
No, sorry, Fuller, but then you got Welzenbach, you've got, who was it, the 34, Sean Boundy, as well as John Wilco. I think they're all trying to get...
the 48 down into the 34, and they're spinning, and there we go. Big wreck in turn 2. That's going to bring the caution back out. I'm not real sure how that started, but all I saw was just all of a sudden the 48 car just came down onto the Sean Bounty there. We're trying to get that replay pulled up for you folks real quick, but man, again, a big wreck in the middle of the pack. And here you see the replay. Jimmy North just got up into the wall, it looks like there, Gael, and maybe tried to avoid getting up in the wall, but came down and got into Boundy, and that just set off a pretty big wreck right there. The 13 of Dwayne Vincent's involved. That's our pole sitter. And it looks like Jimmy North actually was able to just keep on rolling there.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he was trying to get to the middle lane, or maybe unfortunately, I had a similar incident myself on a race I did Saturday, where I just thought there was a gap where there wasn't, and it didn't end well for any of us. But yeah, so that's unfortunate for those involved. It's great news though for Justin Fuller. That'll give him the lucky dog. And yeah, and then we're gonna stack them back up, and it's gonna be a bit of a shootout here now.
Yeah, we're looking, and when they go back to green, probably maybe 3-4 laps to go when they go back to green. Now the question is, does anybody here pit and take 4 tires?
I think now it's going to be all about track position. There's not enough time left, and if they could make it in the field before, they can definitely make it now. So, yeah, I think you're going to see everybody staying where they are, and it's just going to be some really aggressive drafting here on this restart.
Oh, absolutely. We started this race, folks, with 34 cars. Currently, we have 23 still on the lead lap, and it's going to be 24 now with Fuller getting his lap back. But I think we've got about, we've got 29 cars still on the track. 30 cars still on the track right now, so that's pretty good, especially for Talladega. But, man, what about some excitement right here, Gael? We're going to have a shootout for the end of this race.
You will definitely see 3 lines happening here. It's going to take them a lap or so to get up to speed, but once there's going to be that one car that gets the momentum, and they're going to have to go where the others aren't. And I think that's where you're going to see some of that 3-wide action happening. There are a few pitters, but I think those are just the ones that had some damage to get fixed. And maybe a couple guys towards the back of the pack. See if the new tires can play a role in it.
Well, there goes our lucky dog around the outside to get that lap back. Justin Full in that 51 car. Well, folks, we're going to take a really quick commercial break, try and sort a few things out here. We're going to leave it on corner to corner for you. And it looks like we got 4 takers in the pits. Of course, these are all guys that are damaged from either the last wreck or previous wrecks. But anyway, we're going to take a quick break, folks. When we come back, we'll bring it all the way to the green with what looks to be about a 3 to 4 lap shootout. Stay tuned to the Sim Racing Network because this is going to be one hell of a finish, folks.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
And welcome back to the Sim Racing Network's coverage of the Sim500 Kickass Beef Jerky Xfinity Sunday Night Series. And folks, we've had one hell of a race so far. But real quick, I want to talk to Matthew Welton back. Matt, this is John from the booth. You got your ears on, bud?
Hey, Mr. John, how's it going?
Well, man, I'm guessing a little bit better than you tonight. You've just been all over the place, getting beat up like a pinball, man.
Yeah, you know, I started 5th, kind of went to the back because I wanted to see how the race played out. We had a lot of cars here tonight, and then started making my way back up to the front using that 3rd line on the wall, and then was having a hell of a push by the 15 there for a while. And then the 12 got up in front of me, and I started pushing him, and then I just kind of got sucked into the side of the wall. And, you know, I think the 15 got a little damaged, so I just faltered back and stuff, went a lap down, unfortunately, and did not get the lucky dog there, but hoping I can still rebound and at least get a decent finish here. I've been having fun. I raced my way back up into the top 10, 1 lap down, and was fighting the 51 there. But, yeah, how you guys doing?
We're doing good, Matt. Like I said, we just want to check in with you, bud, see if you were still breathing down there. It's been kind of a crazy last 10, 15 laps for you.
Oh, I've been having fun. I mean, like I said, I know I'm a lap down, but I've been pushing and, you know, doing what I can to try and get that lucky dog there because I just had a feeling we were going to have a yellow. But unfortunately, Fuller beat me to it. And, you know, it is what it is. Still surviving. Try and bring this Hope for Paws Ford Mustang home in one piece.
All right, Matt. Well, we'll let you get back to it for this about 4-lap shootout. Looks like it's going to be, but good luck.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, guys.
That was Matthew Welton, driver of the 29 Chevy Camaro. That guy's a trip, man. I raced with him on Friday nights and Wednesday nights as well. Let's pull somebody else up here real quick. Joey, Jatina, John up in the booth, bud. You got your ears on?
Hey, John. What's up?
Well, you tell me, brother. How you feeling right now?
We survived so far. It's got a few more to go.
That pulse rate of yours has got to be climbing a little bit, though, huh?
Not right now, but when the green flag drops, yeah, pretty sure.
Well, man, it's been one hell of an interesting race up here in the booth for us. How's it been looking for you down there?
It's been good. Started out pretty decent, got into EJ through the tribal, and I wound up falling to the tail of the lead draft and just kind of worked my way back up. That big crash we had, Chris Cabu come up the track, and I just made enough contact. I think I got 8 seconds of damage, but just went in and fixed it, no tires, and came out inside the top 10. So now just got to pick the lane and bring it home.
All right, brother. We'll be keeping our eye on you. It's been a real impressive run. Like you said, you touched on a minute ago. You fell back all the way to 29th is where we caught you after that little mishap there. And to find yourself back up fighting hard for the top 10, possibly even the win tonight, is very impressive, Joey. Good luck to you.
Thank you, guys.
And that was Joey Jatina, the fearless leader, as I like to call him, the Sim500 group, also a former real-life racer. He's probably done as many laps here at Talladega as some of the Earnhardt clan has, as he likes to put it. Well, Gael, here we go, buddy. I think that's the lights out right there. We should be going 1 to go right here. It's lap 72 of 76. So by the time they come back around to take the green, it's going to be a 4-lap shootout.
Yeah, saying be pretty exciting here. So got a couple of definitely some of the heavy hitters up front still. Be curious to see if anybody is able to play a wild card. A few of these guys have been able to kind of just take it easy and make sure all their equipment stays in one piece. And so I look forward to seeing some of these guys try to make a big move here for the end of it.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm looking at this 3 car that we haven't even talked about all night long. Jimmy Coleman. I mean, he did start 12th, but he just kind of faded back a little bit and bid his time. And here he finds himself now up in the top 5 in 4th place on this restart outside of row 2 there. Should be a fun restart for him. But I'll tell you what, Gael, man, here it is. We're going to have a poop storm, for lack of a better word, and trying to keep my language clean, of a restart here. I mean, they're going to have 4 laps to go, and it's anybody's race.
Yeah, so I think that's actually about perfect, too, because if it was like a 2-lap shootout or something like that, they just wouldn't be able to get them wound up enough, I don't think. So I think with this, they'll be able to really get the cars singing pretty nicely. And then, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing some 3-wide action. Maybe not 4-wide, because I'd like to see them make it to the checkered flag here in one piece.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I'm looking forward to a good finish. I'm curious to see who's the one that takes that first risk to jump to the top.
Well, my money, I'm going to be honest with you, my money is going to be on Macklin and Yoakum probably being the first jump up to the high side there. Maybe Justina, I'm not sure. Justina, he's always said that he doesn't like to take too many big risks, but here he is sitting in 6th with a decent shot. But here we go. Folks, pace car is off. You got O'Rourke on the outside. You got Hightower down on the inside. Going to be coming through the tri-oval. And remember, that flag doesn't come out for a while here because our start-finish line is way down yonder by the turn 1 there. So these guys are just kind of rumbling through the tri-oval here at pace speed, playing games with each other, checking up here, checking up there, and we should see the green flag here shortly. And let's see what happens here when a green flag jumps out. O'Rourke's pushing his luck on the outside there. Green flag is out, and here we go. Hightower and O'Rourke basically neck and neck there on the restart, Gael.
Yeah, so it was a pretty even restart, but the only thing was that Hightower had Coleman tucked up right on him, and you see that momentum happening right now as you got the 3 of Jimmy Coleman able to now to get to the 41, but right there already lost 2 spots just from them not being packed up as nicely as the leaders were on the inside.
Yeah, that's probably just a little bit of maybe inexperience on the 3 car's part. He should have been a lot closer to the bumper of the 41 on that restart, but they're making up ground for it now. The 3 cars bump drafting the 41 over O'Rourke. Jatina's right there, but their nose is telling that bottom line, and they got the strength right now. But like you said, it takes them almost a lap and a half to get wound up. And here we go, coming through the tri-oval this time by. It's lap 73. It'll be lap 74 out of 76, 3 laps to go. And it looks like we're at top song now. These guys are really wound up, and we should start seeing some jockeying for position here.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see when do you want to make the move, because, you have to be careful not to wait too long in case the yellow comes out, because obviously it'll end it at this point. So I'm curious to see if Coleman, if he gets that run off of the exit, if he jumps to the top and tries to get EJ to give him that push that's needed.
Oh, we've got a big crash back here. Not real sure what happened. We'll try to bring the replay up for you, but man, we had a car airborne. It even got my producer's attention. He was like, oh my God, somebody's flying through the air. Let's see what we got going on here. That's going to be the race, by the way, folks. That's definitely going to end it. My goodness, that was Steph Marinac got huge air. It looks like he got turned up into the wall just a little bit. He might have gotten loose is what it looks like, folks. He got loose right there and chased up the track right into the 06 of Daly, and he took a hit on that outside wall between kind of the outside wall and the 92 car there, and he just went flying. That looked a lot like Ricky Craven's wreck.
Yeah, I was going to say the exact same thing. Reminds me of Ricky Craven, where he hit the outside wall and just basically flew to the inside of the track. And say, let's take a look at this in the replay. That was massive.
It was. That was a hell of a hit. And like I said, he just got loose. He got loose right there on the apron and just chased it up into Byron Daly. And Byron really had nowhere to go, man. He was already there. And there you see the results. Oh my goodness, that was a hell of a. Thank God this is just iRacing. I think if that had happened in real life, we would be talking in a much more somber note, on a bad note. You know what I mean? But that's the great thing about iRacing is as realistic as it is and as fun as it is, at the end of the day, you don't get hurt when you have a heavy blow like that.
I say that's what makes it a little bit more fun is you can do this without those risks.
Right. Yeah, man. I can't believe the air. I mean, that's some huge air. I think even Craven might have been jealous of that.
Yeah, so I think Craven wishes he was doing that in a simulator too versus in the actual car.
You know, I was watching that race live when that happened, man. That was I really thought we just watched somebody die.
Yeah, no, I think I was the same. I don't remember how young I was now, but yeah, like you just sit, wait, like please come out, please come out.
Yeah,
And yeah,
you know what's crazy? Have you ever
enough.
been to Talladega in real life?
I have not.
I have, not for a race. You know, we went over there just passing through town, and they give you a tour, right? And on the tour, they take you on the road that drives around the outside of those turns up on top of the wall. And when you stand there and look down, it's literally like you're standing on top of a building. That's how tall those turns are. It's unreal how huge those turns are. And all I could think of was, you know, Craven cleared the catch fence in height. You know, he didn't go over it, you know, but when he bounced back, he was above the catch fence. He had to have been a good 70 feet in the air at one point.
Yeah, it's amazing what these things can do at speed, but I'll say, and then also just the safety that's come from them. I mean, we've seen some nasty ones too with who was it, Carl Edwards and Brad Keselowski.
Who was that went over the wall way back when? Gosh, I can't remember his name now. This is before they put the catch fence up. Somebody went over the wall. He survived it, but I mean, he was way down in the parking lot when he landed, man. Well, there it is, folks. Lap 76 is going down now. They're on the backstretch. That's the white flag. And it looks like Hightower's going to score himself a win tonight.
Yeah, so you got Jordan Hightower followed by Chad Coleman. And I'll say Daniel Falkingham kind of just almost seemed like an easy night for him. Just he's been up front, seemed like the whole time. Obviously, you know he was working real hard. But, yeah, so he just was around the whole time, able to get that top three. And then you got EJ O'Rourke and Mike Kelly rounding out the top five.
Well, it was a good night all the way around for some folks and not such a good night for others. And, you know, Hightower, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Aaron might be able to help me out, but I think this is his first win in the Sim500 group. I think. Well, we're going to find out when we get back with interviews. Oh, my producer's telling me he has possibly won before, but not in this series, so I wasn't too far off the mark. You know, I just realized he had that Red Bull scheme going for him down there, too.
Yeah, I'll say, well, it'll be his first Kickass beef jerky win, at least, and I'll say that's always a nice thing to have.
I wonder if he gets beef jerky for the win.
Would Red Bull and beef jerky be a good combo, I wonder? We'll have to ask him.
I don't do Red Bull anymore. I'm too old for that crap. That put me in a grave.
Well, you have to ask him, though. See,
yeah,
he's one of those young fellas, I'm sure.
He's one of them youngsters that likes them Red Bulls, huh? Look at the 20 of Chad Coleman kind of pushing him right there, bump drafting him there. Well, there it is, folks. Checkered flag. Jordan Hightower takes the win. Chad Coleman, second place. Daniel Falkingham, third. EJ O'Rourke, fourth. Mike Kelly, fifth. Jimmy Coleman, sixth. Joey Jatina keeps his streak alive in seventh place. Chad Cole, eighth. Brian Macklin, ninth. And Randy Yoakum, 10th. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, you're going to see some interviews. Hopefully, if some of these drivers can get back into TeamSpeak. We had some issues earlier with TeamSpeak, so we'll see if we can catch up with some of these guys. And we'll give you a little bit of a rundown on the race, and we'll talk about next week. Stay tuned to the Sim Racing Network. We shall return.
All right, Watson, let's analyze the chemicals in this cigarette smoke. Cadmium?
Check.
Formaldehyde?
Check.
Arsenic?
Sir, isn't arsenic what they used in rat poison?
Yeah, isn't arsenic what they used in rat poison?
Oh, what was I thinking, sir? It's not like we're gonna smoke them.
Neither will the rats.
Tobacco is no joke. Cigarette smoke has over 7,000 chemicals. Learn more at thefactsnow.com.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
All right, Watson, let's analyze the chemicals in this cigarette smoke. Cadmium?
Check.
Formaldehyde?
Check.
Arsenic?
Sir, isn't arsenic what they used in rat poison?
Yeah, isn't arsenic what they use in rat poison?
Oh, what was I thinking, sir? It's not like we're gonna smoke them.
Neither will the rats.
Tobacco is no joke. Cigarette smoke has over 7,000 chemicals.
And welcome back, racing fans, to the Sim Racing Network's broadcast of the Sim500 Kickass Beef Jerky Series Sunday Night Xfinity Racing here at Talladega Talladega Super Speedway, where we have concluded a hell of a race, Gael. I mean, I'm really impressed with this race. I had a good time.
No, that was a lot of fun to watch. I say we had a little bit of everything there with the green flag pit stop, some strategy, and then a late race shootout.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, you have caught up with our third place driver, Daniel Falkingham, who keeps his streak alive, so to speak.
Yeah, so I caught up here with the 39 Chevrolet Camaro of Daniel Falkingham. Say, getting used to interviewing you here. I was mentioning to John here, it seemed like you almost had a nice and quiet night here at Talladega, but obviously I'm sure behind the wheel is nothing of the sort.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just with these Xfinity cars at these plate tracks, it's so hard to push because the bumpers just do not line up correctly. Like, if you even try to attempt to bump in the corner, you just wreck somebody. And even if you bump on the straightaway, you can still kind of turn somebody as well. That's what happened between me and Sean Bounty, which I'm really sorry about. Which I never even got a contact for him. Like, when I bumped him, and he just, like, I didn't even feel like I hit him that hard, but it's just enough where it just kind of spun him out. I do apologize for that, but, yeah, just that sucks for him and sucks for me because I kind of turned him a little bit per se. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of driving these Xfinity cars at these plate tracks just because of the these bumpers being hard to connect.
Yeah, I say you definitely weren't the only one. I say we saw one with Joey Jatina's with EJ O'Rourke, and I think there was at least one or two others. So say don't feel too bad. You weren't the only one by any means. And say we definitely saw a really nice save there made by Sean Bounty as well to keep that off the wall. Got back going again, and yeah, so it was pretty impressive that he was able to continue his night. But yeah, say other than the drafting, though, how did the racing feel for you in the car?
Yeah, overall the racing was really fun. I mean, it felt good to get up front, lead some laps too, and I was kind of hoping I could get back up to the front, later on in the race, but I just never was able to. I was kind of, just not confident of making moves to the outside because I was afraid of getting hung out. And where now think about it, I probably should have made those moves. But hey, the most important thing is even though I also did get a little bit of right front damage from when me and I think Jimmy North collided going to turn one, we hit and popped my right front in the air. Like only had about 9 seconds of damage, so that didn't affect me too bad. So we were good there. So. But yeah, overall, I had a pretty quiet, pretty clean race. I'm just happy with third. Good to take home some points.
Yeah, say a good points night, especially. I'm sure that's going to help your case for the points lead still. Maybe pad that a little bit. I'll say, of course, want to give you your moment. If any shout outs or thanks you want to give while you have the moment.
Yep. Got to thank First Rate Bait, Lobster 207 for their support. Also got to thank everyone, Joey and everyone at Sim500 for putting on this league, and everyone who comes out and races each and every week. Also got to thank my mom, dad, grandmother, all friends, family watching. But it was a good race to watch, and thanks to you guys for putting on the broadcast, and thanks to everyone who watched the race.
All right, there you have it. Third place finisher Daniel Fogham and the number 39 Chevrolet Camaro come home with third place finish. Another good run to hopefully probably pad his points lead there a little bit.
Well, thank you for that interview there, Gael. Just some quick, minutes and items on tonight's race. 76 laps, Gael. We had 25 lead changes. That's 3 lead changes. Lead change every 3 laps, man. That's wow. Just wow.
No, they were doing a really they were jumping lanes a lot. I was saying getting the runs to make the moves to the top, and yeah, they put on a show. It was fun to watch, fun to be a part of.
Well, when you think about it, the iRacing only counts lead changes at the start-finish line. It doesn't count them anywhere else on the track. So that's 25 times tonight when they cross the line that somebody else is leading this race. That's pretty intense right there. But anyway, if I'm not mistaken, my friend, you've caught up with tonight's second-place driver, Chad Coleman.
I have. I'll say we did some walking and talking there, and say I was able to come across the number 20 of Chad Coleman in his Chevrolet Camaro. Came home second place, and So how'd you feel about your night there, Chad?
We had a pretty good race. We just tried to play it safe for a little while, let stuff get strung out, miss a crash or two, and at the end we wound up with on the rear bumper of Hightower, and like normal, whenever we get hooked up, we're really hard to beat.
Yeah, so you two looked pretty stout. I was curious to see if there's gonna be like a timing plan for if and when you want to try to make the move there. If you're gonna wait till the one to go. Just with the risk, obviously, of the yellow coming out. But I'll say, taking a look at the rear deck lids there, I believe you guys might work together pretty well. So, yeah, I'll say, I don't know if you were part of any of that 3-wide racing in the pack. I'll say, any craziness that you saw from your point of view?
Some of the 3-wide stuff got interesting at times. But we'd try to make a run up against the wall, and it seemed like the car was just, you'd get up there and it'd want to slow down. I don't know what the deal with that was. I don't know if it's some kind of issue in iRacing or whatever, but it about made the very top line. It about made it obsolete. You just, once you'd get up there, you get a run and get going, but you couldn't go anywhere because it just randomly slowed down. But I wasn't a whole lot of craziness. I mean, with this car, the biggest deal with this car is you really can't push in the corner. Like, I think everything we saw tonight was probably somebody bumping somebody in the corner. Whatever it is with the B car, you got to stay off people. So you can push like hell on the straightaway, but you get to the corner, you better turn loose or they're going to be a crash. But no, it's pretty cut and dry Talladega race.
No, say a nice and easy way to put it, I suppose. I say definitely had a good run, finishing second, and just want to give you a moment. Any shout outs or thanks you want to give?
Yeah, like always, just thank JD Laird, JDR Graphics. He paints pretty much everything I drive and every series I'm in over here. And thank Jordan. Well, Jordan can thank me. I pushed him, so maybe he'll thank me for that. But you guys for the broadcast, and thank Joey and all the guys at Sim500 for the leagues. It's a lot of fun.
I'll say there you have it. Second place finisher in the number 20 Chevrolet Camaro of Chad Coleman. And then I believe our man John Mustian has been able to make his way to Victory Lane and found Jordan Hightower.
I have indeed. I'm down here in Victory Lane with Jordan Hightower. He wins Talladega. How you doing, Jordan?
I'm doing pretty good now.
You able to catch your breath a little bit?
Oh yeah, it was kind of nerve-wracking there at the end.
Just a little, I imagine, man. We saw some great racing by you guys tonight. You had a damn fine night, man. If I'm not mistaken, you led 26 laps tonight, which I believe was the most led by anybody, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, me and my teammate Byron both led 26.
Yeah, that's right. You're right.
So
Daly did, yeah.
Yeah, we were definitely up at the front a lot. Beginning of the race, I started 23rd, I believe.
Yes, sir. 23rd, great spot.
I would tried to go up to the front and then get shuffled to the back. It was kind of a chess match. I couldn't win there to start with. I finally got it figured out after a pit stop, though.
So maybe you can help me out with something. We were talking about this during the commercial, and I'm not real sure, but is this your first win in the Xfinity Series?
I believe so, yes. I'm the series Michael Waltrip, I guess. We'll just win it the super speedways and go on about our day.
Well, hey, man, whatever it takes, right? You got that W now, and you can maybe you'll be a little bit better than Michael was. I mean, I got nothing against Michael Waltrip, but it seems like in the end, just plate tracks were his thing.
Well, he got some Cup W's out of it, so can't be upset about that.
That's right. Well, talk to me about your race, my friend. I mean, you were out there leading. You were, watching all that chaos in your mirror a couple of times. Did you, at any point in the race, maybe think, damn, I may not make it through this race?
Well, to be honest with you, I didn't know if I'd be able to actually race. I was having some trouble with my wheel, and believe it or not, I actually had to race with my Xbox controller. That's why I was kind of hanging out a little bit there in the back, trying to get used to that, but I was able to keep that pretty smooth somehow.
I'm just going to quit iRacing now. I'm done. That's it. I'm out. I just, wow, that's impressive, brother. I'm not going to lie, but you might want to keep that to yourself.
Yeah, don't tell anybody.
Yeah. Well, congratulations on the win, my friend. I'm just so, I have no words right now. Do you have anybody you want to thank for your win tonight there, George?
Yes, thank Byron and Chad. Chad helped me there a lot. Toward the end, he said he was going to stick to my back bumper until it was at least off turn 4, so I definitely appreciate that. And my teammate Byron, he helped me get to the track. He paid my entry fee for this series.
Well, that's awesome, my friend. Well, look, thank you so much for your time tonight. Congratulations again on your victory, and we look forward to seeing you next week on the Monster Mile.
Thanks, guys.
Well, there you have it, folks. There's your leader, Jordan Hightower, and, well, hell, apparently I spend all that money on a steering wheel for no damn reason at all.
I said that's not all what I would have expected to hear there. I say I was keeping my microphone off there, but I was definitely laughing to myself. I was like, oh my goodness, I can't even get one with a nice wheel setup, and he's got a controller just to make it happen. And
I just feel so.
That goes to show you, man. It doesn't matter. It's like you can make some races, and you never know how it's going to wind up.
Look, after today, I'm not racing anymore. I'm just going to paint cars. That's about all I'm going to do for racing. But anyway, well, there you have it, folks. That was our winner, Jordan Hightower, and that's going to conclude tonight's race. Gael, we had a great race tonight here at Talladega Motor Speed. I did it again. Talladega Super Speedway. 2.66 miles of action. I love this track, and these guys here at Sim500 did not disappoint whatsoever. You got any final thoughts, my friend?
No, I just want to echo what you said. That was a blast to do, and I was definitely enjoyed being able to be a part of it like this again. And these guys always put on a really good show, and I always enjoy hanging out in the booth with you guys. And look forward to watching your guys' stream tomorrow night.
Well, tonight's event was 76 laps here at Talladega. We only had 3 cautions. We had some really good spaced out cautions, a lot of green flag racing, a little bit of bumping and banging, a lot of excitement on track. We had 25 lead changes. We covered that earlier. Great race, a really great race overall. Next week finds us at Dover, the Concrete Monster, the Monster Mile. That's another one of my favorite tracks around, believe it or not. It's literally one of my favorite tracks. It's one that I've got several victories at myself, and I'm looking forward to it. But in the meantime, we talked about this earlier, Gael. The points are as standing now. A little bit of shaking up going up in there in the top 10, especially in the top 5. Falkingham still maintains his points lead, 65 points now ahead of Chad Coleman, who jumps up to second from third. Jordan Hightower, with this win, jumps up to third place, all the way from 7th place. So that's Jordan Hightower in third. Justin Fuller falls back to fourth place. Byron Daly still clinging to 5th place right there. He's got 3 wins on the season so far, most of everybody else. But he's still, hanging on that 5th spot. Steph Marinac down to 6th. He's in a tie right there with Dwayne Vincent, who jumps up a couple spots. So he and Steph are tied for 6th. Scott Simley, 7th. Dave Comstock is dropping rapidly down to 9th now. Tommy Ryan is in 10th. And that's your top 10 in the points here in the Kickass Beef Jerky Series Sunday Night Xfinity Racing. Brought to you by Kickass, but it's the Sim500 Racing, guys. And that's going to conclude tonight's broadcast. Next week, make sure you tune in for Dover. That's going to be a hell of a race, folks. I tell you what, right now, if you're not doing anything next Sunday night, tune in for the Monster Mile and the Kickass Beef Jerky Series when their trip there. Tomorrow night, however, it's the Cup Series, the Trans Service Cup Series. They're going to be racing here at Talladega. And, folks, if you thought tonight was good, wait till you see tomorrow night. In the meantime, remember, when you're out on those roads, folks, please put the phone down. Your Facebook posts, your Snapchat pictures, that can all wait until you get where you're going. Remember, smile more often, love each other, and God bless each and every one of you. I'm John Mushin with Gael Brooks and Aaron Grosskopf down in the van. This is the Sim Racing Network. Y'all have a good night.